There's a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Higurashi are a result of a village conspiracy.
Conspiracy? Shit, man! We need Kenji on this shit right now!
Like, I told you, man! I told you! Damn conspiracies, man! I told you I'm the last sane man of an insane world! I told you! It's like vast feminist conspiracy of Higurashi. I know it, I can see it!
There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved. None of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. And how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Onikakushi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect someone? Only the residents of Higurashi felt that the day of the Onikakushi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Higurashi. First it was the dam construction foreman, then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion, but it couldn't just be shrugged off. So the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? Such a trivial reason to kill someone. What about Tomitake-san? He's not affiliated with the damn project at all. Is he killed just because he was an outsider? My voice acting, it's pitiful, but man, I've heard much worse. Just like... I just keep thinking back to Project Zero with, I remember getting Tomitake-san's name mixed up with him. What was his name? Oh man, I can't remember his name now. I remember when I was writing the video description for one part of this LP, I'd like put the wrong name in. Instead of Tomitake, it was this other guy from Project Zero. They have a similar-ish name. What was his name? Takamine, yeah, that was the guy's name. I got that mixed up for some reason. Because they're kind of like, they start the same way, isn't it? But anyway, like his voice acting way, just sees his assistant horrifically murdered, and his response is to verbally go, oh. Anyways, we get off track again. In the beginning, it fell on these related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough. Then, next year's victim is just going to be picked out of the village outsider pool. It must be a person that just moved here. Oh! What do you mean by, I swallowed my words? Here in Higurashi, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. Proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims, my family was... He's saying he was going to be me. Well, what does that have to do with Mion? I can't go into details, but the Sonozaki family led the damn protests. What about Rika, man? He's going on about Mion, but what about Rika? Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion knew that it meant to fight. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protest, though. Then, well, what does it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. What a very clear explanation. If felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. Then think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's a curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with the curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they didn't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over those mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went on as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. That fine, I'm Mr. Ooishi from the Okinomiya police station. You can call me Kura-san if you want. No, Ooishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was a spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. The door opened with a click and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. It's probably like, damn it! He's just like, shouldn't have freaking just be like, told him to fuck off, not interested. Now he knows all this, and now it's going to like, now that's all he's got to be thinking about, really, isn't it? I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, my Barasan. There is enough proof that the village is not involved. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything.
What? He tells them all that conspiracy shit and all that, and he's like, you know what, there is actually enough proof that a village is not involved. He obviously means in the recent incident. But he just like plays up this whole freaking thing, and then he just like, what the hell, man?
But I'm no detective. You don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving them a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, my Baraku. I returned to the school building without looking back. Is he gonna finish that game? I don't know how much time had passed. I wonder, like, go back to the comic relief side of it. Will it be like, man, did you have constipation, Keiichi? What took you so long? I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomitake-san's death was hard enough as it was, but I think that there was a possibility of a village conspiracy. But he just pointed out, it's like, yeah, there's proof enough that the villagers have nothing to do with it, and there's still, like, I don't know. Where still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Possible Mion ran a Satoko or Rikichan. There's a group that attacked Tomitake-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be who were hiding here somewhere in Hinamizawa? I don't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. It's me-chan, the perpetrator! Huh? It's the perpetrator! God damn it, again, you gotta wait till the next line to know who's talking sometimes. I was startled to hear Rena's voice.
just like, what poor timing that is. It's like, Keiichi's like, yeah, she couldn't be the perpetrator of this. And then in their game, there's like saying this. There's a rope in the lounge. Nope. No. Rena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow. Ah, Keiichi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger.
Sorry about that. I was called out to the staff into the staff room scene.
You're reprimanded for bad behavior. That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one.
If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place?
Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. I'm at -1 point. Ow.
The heck? Your score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing.
This is the final match decided penalty is going to be carried out by Rena alone or by both Keiichi and Rena.
Yeah, right. Just let Rena do the penalty by herself.
We made a promise, Keiichi-kun, that we would both win. I did all this time, you know.
Sorry about that.
Betty feels like a bit of a dick for that. I followed my initial plan of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call. I got it. The murderer is me, with the poison at the entrance. Is it? My, Rena, quite a quick answer. A no stab in the dark. Oh! And that's correct. Oh, then it's decided that Keiichi-san should take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Keiichi-kun, let's do our best.
Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice.
Well, that's game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. And dead last are Keiichi Maibara and Rena Ryugu. Everyone applauded, and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. What will she make us buy, I wonder?
Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it?
Huh? I don't have any business at a drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. Oh, there's a lot written here.
A lot? Damn it! What is she making us buy? We're back to comic relief.
2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar and dried tofu. What the heck is this? Looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. We were certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks.
This is just your grocery list.
I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy a hemorrhoid cream. Just like you thought that she'd be the one doing that, but nope, he's the one that had that in mind. How many times have we seen this? Where it goes to this with this exact music. Higurashi when they cry. Hello, comic relief. You have received new tips. There are more than what?
Not a clue. Achievement unlocked.
His face though. And the goofy music accompanies it. Just like you do.
Not a clue. Achievements.
So silly. We got notes now. There are more than 4 perpetrators or such notice. You know, it had been a while since I've, last recorded this, because I'd end up like getting 4 parts out of previous recording sessions. But at this rate, there'll probably be maybe 3 parts at least for this recording session. Hypo milk shock-induced by clawing out their own throats. This shows fact on their nails, not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scars also matches.
Yeah, I know the immediate cause of death was suicide. I get it, you're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right? It's kind of like when your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood. Except, more extreme.
Some of Tomitake's fingernails had been pulled out. It's actually quite simple to pull out one's own nails, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on Tomitake's body, and so you just call him Tomitake-san because that's what Keiichi refers to him as. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people. It's like, for example, like in my Dark Copper 2 LP, because like Otome would constantly refer to the protagonist as Ototo-kun, which I think essentially means little brother, I think? Is it? I think it does. I forget the guy's name, honestly. I just remember that. Brother, where are you in this dictionary? I'm going from my own notes, it seems that. Well. Yeah, or Toto, yeah, that is younger brother. Just brother in general is Annie. And is there anything else? Say someone else's brother is Annie-san? I don't know. It's just like, don't know if it draws out the pronunciation or not, but yeah. So I can't even remember the bloody guy's name. What was his name? I mean, he was kind of forgettable. He had about as much personality as something that doesn't really have much personality, really. He's kind of the generic protagonist. What was his name? Was he Yoshiyuki? I think it was. Was it him? I think, maybe. Doesn't matter. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people.
According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death. I mean, right before death. Sorry, I don't know who is freaking talking. I think the person who's talking might be another important character that doesn't appear on the screen just yet. Or maybe he's a different character. I don't know. I can't remember. Then he fought back and clawed out his own throat because of how hysterical he'd become. The guys attacking him certainly would have been surprised by that.
It's possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases.
Actually, Ooishi-kun, that wood plank the deceased used as a weapon. They only found sand and paint from the guardrail on it. What about cloth fibers or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants. Or it could be they took the plank he was fighting back with. In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They take them all. Har, har, har. That's true.
Tomitake is pretty built and tanned. He was quite athletic.
That's right.
He was pretty active. I don't even know who the hell's talking anymore. Not that I really have a distinct voice for either of the characters here. It's like there was me, like all these times saying, yeah, I'm bad at coming up with variety for female voice acting and all that. But really, the male one seems the same, isn't it? It's just because it's like that kind of more mature sounding voice with that deep sound. It just ends up sounding the same. Can't give him a goofy voice, can I? It's like the Echo the Dolphin voice. If I gave him the evil blackboard voice, it'd be like, know? He's like, I can't imagine. It's like, I have to pause a lot more if I were to do that, and I don't think any character really suit that voice. He's like, that's a villainous voice that's smoked too many cigarettes sounding, isn't it? I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. Well, naturally, look at that muscle, man. Meaning he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around quickly, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit him at least once. Surround and take down someone of his physique. I wonder how many people it would take.
You dimwit, you should know better than anyone. Have you forgotten your bad cop days? Oh wait, no.
I suppose he must just... Ooishi was the guy before that then. So it was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. Just makes... Well, there are a lot of animals that do that, isn't it? Lions, hyenas. Hyenas are more scavengers than anything else, but you know, they might do that. Then you got like the loon kind of ones, like you wouldn't see like a tiger like going in a pack and just like in numbers. What other animals do that? I imagine think prehistoric, just think dinosaurs, raptors were obviously must have been like that. Actually, there's probably quite a lot of that. It's there's a Gigantosaurus. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation for it, but it's a massive freaking carnivore, really big, up there with a T-Rex in size. And I think I remember reading that they, but been theorized to have hunted in groups of 2 to 3 or something like that. And if so, can you imagine how horrifying that'd be? Those giants, and there's they're working as a team. Oh, probably not to the same extent as say raptors probably would, I'd imagine. They'd probably just be like, okay, we'll work together, but if you get in my way, I'll bite your fucking face off. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. Then there were quite a few perpetrators, so any drunken, disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious. A group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries.
That's under serious consideration on my end too.
An interruption, I have food, so after these tips I guess we'll wrap it up, maybe. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. Yeah, I think this is the guy I'm thinking of, honestly. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before. I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results. Ooishi-san, the chief is calling you. Thanks, see you around. Yeah, best wishes and all that shit. Search notice. Jiro Tomitake, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishimone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomitake. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival, accompanied by the missing Mion Takano. Yeah, that's her name. That's the name of the woman that he was with. And if you recall, early on in this LP, in one of the first few parts, when he was being greeted, and the people were just hi, you're the new guy, right? And Mion and Rena were saying who they were. They did mention Mio as being the nurse at the clinic. But we didn't know that it was actually her until now. Well, I did, but plot-wise, it hadn't been revealed yet. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police. Location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Higurashi for 1 week each season for the last 5-6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. What was among the articles of the deceased? More act of violence. From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba. Along the Subu-Rational Railway line. No individual matching the name Jiro Tomitake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. That's photo. Send to Metro Police. Contracting magazines regarding Jiro Tomitake. Mion Takano, missing. Nurse at Irie, is that how it's pronounced? That's the thing with Japanese, is like, it's like an I, but it's actually pronounced as an E, and the E, like that, is usually like eh. It's kind of weird. They came close to Tomitake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinawa, blah district blah. Single. Witnessed accompanying Tomitake on the festival grounds, currently missing. Abducted, maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy. Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on the scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Ooishi. That's just a little extra added note there. Search notes, I want food. Actually, I have food myself. Meow, click, continue. Sleepy.
Oh, that was a really big yawn, Keiichi-kun.
I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. All this, I'm tempted to just keep recording. Which I am, no, I don't. I was watching TV until late last night, so tired right now.
What's one of those raunchy TV shows you loved so much on last night? How extremely vile!
Don't jump to conclusions.
It's perfectly normal for boys. Nothing to be ashamed about.
Rick not patting my head only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously.
Why, you think I would just sit here and allow that?
I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry? This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head under the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to care. Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Cut out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep.
Oh wait. Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face is so cute.
That's one way of being able to tell what character's speaking.
You can take him home later. Let him be for now. I imagine that's Mion. Let's move over there to root to Keiichi if we hold him now.
Yeah, I knew that'd be Rika-chan. Rika-chan really is a good girl.
Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back.
I take that back. Oh, that was her as well. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Ooishi fan that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Naturally. To spend the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It's made me think, was Ooishi-san just trying to deceive me? It was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. Indeed, it's just like saying, should have just told him to fuck off. If I'd never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Ooishi-san for this. Well, when was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished neither with Onikakushi. That's Mion. Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up. I could still tell that she was quite upset. Couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san? Well, I've got cheese on toast here, and I want to eat it. I want to continue with the plot, but fuck it. I got food. So I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.
You know what? It's been a few hours since I recorded. So fuck it. Just like editing and all that. It's like you could add on maybe, I don't know, record for maybe 18 minutes or so. It depends how far we go into a scene. I was just like spent the past half hour, probably maybe near an hour, just browsing through the Higurashi Wikipedia, which I would say, if you don't know anything about the series and all that, haven't read the novels yourself, don't look up stuff like that, because you will inevitably find spoilers. So just go through that, and it's just like, yeah, I remember all this stuff now. And it's like, and part of me is also thinking, it's just like, I can't remember if each arc is like, got quite a long length to it or a short length. I don't know. Because, like, when you read a summary of what goes on in the plot and all that, which again, don't look at it if you haven't read it yourself and don't want to have spoilers and all that, but essentially makes it seem like it's really brief, but at the same time, it's just like, there's a lot in between, isn't there? So I wonder how long this arc will go on for. I mean, it's just like, we've just got to the darker side of the plot. But man ain't got nothing on the other arcs. Well, it has, but there are like some of the arcs are, but that's another thing. There's like a bunch of different arcs as well outside the question and answer arcs, but they seem to be pretty much just like kind of alternative kind of scenarios or fan service in one or two cases. It's like, for example, like some of the arcs endings it like would continue from there instead and all that. But the question arcs and the answer arcs, from what I can tell, are pretty much the canon ones, while all the other ones are kind of just like what if scenarios rather than all being joined together like that. I don't know. These are essentially the originals, so that's how it is, and it concludes the series by the end of it, so yeah, the rest is just kind of extra shit, which I probably won't play because I doubt that Manga Game would release them anyway. There's quite a couple of other ones aside from the question and answer arcs, but anyway, this commendable arc, it couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san? Not sure. That's all I know. I would have a fine ignorance of this subject because I need you to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, I just sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. You and me, there are others, right? Who? They don't know if it's from the curse or if this was Onikakushi. Was an Onikakushi. Or an Onikakushi? I thought that Onikakushi, which is the title for this question arc, means hidden demons. So how the hell would that work? This was hidden demons. That doesn't really make sense. Onikakushi to be hidden away by a demon? Yeah, see? It is. It's got that context. I'm assuming it must mean hidden demons. If it says to be hidden away by a demon, It's obviously got something to do with hidden, obviously, but is the context different? Is it not just simply hidden demons, or is it like hidden by demons? I don't know, it's really confusing. What a mysterious phrase. All of these arcs have odd phrases, really, when you really look at it, sort of. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good.
Oh, there was another, right? Right?
You can tell when it's Rena, because like you said, she's talking quieter than Mion, and the fact that she likes to repeat words like that. If it's all Shira-san was, yeah.
But, this year at all?
Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion.
And without us knowing it, someone had... them, you mean? That's good. I wonder...
Don't worry, you got home safely.
But it's not allowed, right?
That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term Onikakushi. To be demoned away by the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. Demoned away. Is that like another way you could look at it? Demoned away. I know, I thought I was onto something with that translation. It's like hidden demons. It kind of like it fits. But demoned away, I guess, could also make sense. But it seems like a different context, really. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman really bugged me that I don't know her name vanished after the Onikakushi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said, "There's another one, right?" Mion also said, "If it's Shira-sama's, yeah, it's funny, so it's Shira-sama's curse, then there have to be two victims. Is that what you meant?" Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of Onikakushi. Seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recall Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would best be described as cursed. Then the woman with him, I mean, she vanished because she was demoned away. What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason I didn't know. Whether she knew that something had happened that made her a potential target for Yoshiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Yoshiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinibasawa. Isn't the guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Ooishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. If that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Ooishi-san. Inform the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I'd fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. And then goofy music. The teacher approaches! Keiichi-san! You must awaken! In the distance I could hear the bell of the ring of the handbell signaling the start of afternoon classes. Yeah, I couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in the moment, ow, when I leaned against the back of my seat. Ah! There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. Ooh, circumstantial evidence was enough.
Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I fiercely jumped up from my seat, and I tripped as my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together.
So while he was eavesdropping the whole time, Satoko was setting this up.
Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work.
The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko.
Oh, did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat.
Plump, plump, whiff, whiff. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead.
Ah, Keiichi-san's being mean.
Hey, don't, what the fuck's that? Don't pick on the younger kids, my Baraku. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me.
That little brat!
Come on, my Baraku.
Yeah, I'll apologize.
Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologize, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice.
Damn her, I'll remember this.
Kei-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat.
What, are you like freaking Rena now? Repeating the same thing? I sat down after Mion told me to. She switched to class representative mood. I was going to just transition into another scene, which it actually did. I was expecting that Higurashi thing to come up place, like, Higurashi, when to cry. With the boring classes finished, school is finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Firstly, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Ooishi-san. Rena and I weren't even able to test out our strategy.
That's right, today Keiichi...
My voice just...
Today Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me?
As in Mion, of course. Mion looked over her shoulders as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Another thing I noticed is this art style right here. There are two distinct different art styles. Aside from, the original with the giant hands and stuff. There's also another version where they look a bit different as well. I mean, it looks fancy, but it's like different art style as well. I can't remember if this was the version that I'd played back in the day, like with the art style, or whether it was the other one, because it's been years. I'd had to get a patch for it, because the original release didn't have this, fancy art style option.
Oops, I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today.
Helping your uncle? On your little goody two-shoes.
Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well, sorry guys. This old man's heading back home now.
Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag.
You see, Mion-chan sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shopping town.
Ah, I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff.
She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear.
I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy?
There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded.
Is that what she's calling it? So, what now? Pass on the club today?
So we're done today, I guess.
Would it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this! I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Ah, here it is! The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I went to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break.
I do not mind, but is that fine for Rena-san and Rika? If Keiichi wants to play so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together.
What you said like that. I wanted to go shopping if there was a club meeting today. Going to buy soy sauce. Oh wait, that's probably her actually.
Would we go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today? I want to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting.
What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. If I kept on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Ah, well, I'll give up this time. Man, I really was looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it.
At the next opportunity, I shall give you a second thrashing. Sound, I mean. Ho ho ho!
The murderer Satoko, the murderer wet weapon is a pistol. It was you after all.
What did you say? Then I'll just...
Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and struck out 3 of them at me.
Murderer is Keiichi, in the lounge with a rope.
I don't need no rope, I'll just strangle you like this. Why, you little...
No! Keiichi-san is such a beast!
Sure. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. Why, you Homer Simpson?
I'll remember this, Keiichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. How unfortunate. Cute.
Is this all in his head or something? You can't really tell in that context.
Well, probably did happen just now. Everyone got ready to go back home. They also helped gather up the scattered cards. What, did they play it like very briefly or some shit? Or were they just messing around, pretending to play it? I suddenly paused. They were just a suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Oh yeah, Satoshi. Satoshi? Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least, every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster, stuck up on the wall.
Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up.
Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena, there must be quite a few people who transfer from school, right? I tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered.
Yeah, Hinamizawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then.
Then is Satoshi another one of those transferees?
Sorry, I don't really know.
There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate.
I'm not saying it to be mean. This last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't hear much about him. Sorry.